What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All the Things Sword of Truth, the alcohol-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with craft beer on the side. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade.
And today we're going to be talking about Chapter 22 of Stone of Tears.
Woohoo!
You've read the chapter, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's woohoo appropriate, Jade.
Oh, well.
It's actually pretty sad.
But woohoo rhymes with 22.
Well, you got me there. It rhymes. So
That's where I was going. I don't know about you.
Fair.
So this chapter begins with Adie basically telling Zed her entire life story.
The whole thing.
Yeah, like all of it. She tells him how her mom was a skip, and she was always bitter that Adie had the gift. Those with the gift were hated where she came from. Are you going to say the name of the place?
I can attempt it. Jim Bond says Nico Barisi. I've heard many people say Nico Baris. And I don't know why, but Nico Baris also is coming to mind somehow.
Wait, how many people have you heard say this word?
Well, there was a YouTube video. I can't
okay.
remember what it was, but she was definitely saying Nico Baris with no extra E at the end. And I don't know. The only authority we have at this point is Jim Bond, who did the narration. So he would have been the first to say the word in the series.
So, Nico Barisi.
Nico Barisi.
Nico Barisi. Not Necco, like not like a Necco wafer.
No, it's Nico, Nico Barisi.
Okay, got it. That's where Adie is from, and people there assume that people with a gift are banelings.
The way that Terry explains what a baneling is and was hilarious to both Jade and I, because Adie says the word and she's like, "Do you know what a baneling is, Zed?" And Zed launches into this explanation, way over explains it to her. And it was funny to us because if Adie knew what a baneling was, I mean, she did ask the question after all, then Zed would have no need to go into all of this detail.
Honestly, if somebody did this to me, I would probably be like, yeah, I fucking know. I asked you. And you know what? It is the definition of mansplaining. That is what he does to her.
What is mansplaining?
It's when a woman knows something about you're talking about something with a woman, and a man just kind of assumes he knows better. So he goes into a very overindulgent explanation like you would do to a child. And a lot of times This ends up being two people who know more about the subject than they do. Like Adie knowing more about the Keeper and like his agents than Zed. Zed has no place explaining to her what a baneling is. Right.
No, that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
He went way above and beyond, and it wasn't necessary at all.
That is one of the things that drives me up the wall more than anything else, when somebody explains to me something that I fucking know already.
Yeah.
And, don't do that. Don't do that.
Jade is very smart. She likes people to assume that she is smart because she is.
You should fucking know.
Don't assume that she thinks or knows less than you because she is a intelligent person, as they say.
I try. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But basically, banelings are the agents. We heard about the agents before with Darkenral being one. He tells her that Darkenral is an agent, and that doesn't really surprise Adie a whole lot because he was like an evil dude.
Yeah. He was the evil bastard, right? Yeah. Well, I guess that all makes sense then, doesn't it? Kind of checks out.
She does say it's not a good thing, though. She's like, that's not great. So she goes on to tell him that the King's Circle,
a.k.a. the Gummint,
required those with the gift to give an oath. Basically pledging they were never going to use their gift except without, like, express written permission from the king.
Yeah, it has to be on his orders, otherwise it's essentially a felony.
Yeah, which is fucked.
I don't think they had, like, 3-strike rule back then either, so...
Well, she goes on to tell us a story about when she was little, and she did something, like, just out of instinct, and it didn't go great.
No, not great at all.
There was a fire, there was a little girl who was crying and screaming. Apparently, a whole bunch of people in the town were just watching this happen.
Yeah, we're just standing by.
Yeah.
Well, it made it seem like anybody who wasn't gifted couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, because this is before firefighters.
Well, yeah. I mean... They were lucky if they had a bunch of dudes with buckets anywhere nearby, and all these homes are made out of wood, mortar and stone and hay for insulation. So if it caught on fire, yeah, they would go up fast.
Yeah. Well, everyone's watching, and Addie's the only one who can do anything, so she
does.
She stops the fire. And instead of everyone being happy, they're whipped in front of the council, right?
Yeah, she did something bad and she got fucking punished.
And so did the other little girl for making her do the bad thing.
Yeah, essentially, Adie was whipped for having magic at all. The other girl was whipped for the specific reason of allowing the keeper to use her to bring forth the gift in someone else.
Yeah, that sounds sane.
I'm going to beat your ass because you did nothing wrong on purpose. What the fuck is that?
Fucked up.
Yeah. Also very culty.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what society was. I mean, like, here for a long time in the 17 and 1800s, people got punishments like this all the fucking time, and people didn't bat an eye. They should have, because it was totally fucked.
Yeah.
But that's just what happened then.
Yeah, they're like, well, you shouldn't be using your magic.
Right.
Should have let that girl burn. We were all fine with watching the girl burn.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard you say that out loud, and I was like, no, we're not.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
No. But it's fucking awful, and everybody would go along with it.
Well, her mom never spoke to her again. She, gave her grandma, was like, I'm done dealing with this shit.
How dare you be a hero?
Yeah.
Not in my house.
Fuck that magic hero shit.
Capes not allowed.
Go away. So her grandma was very stern. She raised her, taught her how to use the gift, all that shit. So, she would know what not to do, basically.
Mm-hmm. Basically, I'm going to teach you how to be magic so you can not be magic.
I wonder if it was just I'll teach you how to use it in case somebody wants to use you someday, because they will, because that's just how this works.
I kind of got two messages from it. One being exactly how she put it. I'm going to show you how to do this so you know that this is bad. If you don't just stumble across this someday and think, oh, well, this is fine, this is normal, and it's not bad. She's teaching her everything to do with magic so she knows that everything to do with magic is bad. The other thing that kind of stuck out to me is maybe this was her grandma's one way of being kind to her. She is a very bitchy woman. She's very strict. She has rules. If you break the rule, you do get one warning, sounds like, but then she'll fucking whip you again. So not great. But then this is her way of saying, I'm serious about the oath, but I'm still giving you the gift because you can use it in private. And it is a part of you, and you should have that.
Yeah.
It's the only kindness her grandma ever really did for her.
Well, and I think maybe there was probably still a level of pride somewhere in the gift, because Addie seems to have a lot. And maybe it didn't come from her grandma. Maybe it came from the other people she experiences in her life. But she does seem to have a certain, this is my birthright type shit.
Right.
And so maybe grandma did have some of that, feeling and instill that in Addie, even though she wasn't allowed to use it.
Yeah.
But she also cut her hair off and made her stay bald.
Yeah, she punished her real fucking bad. In the Midlands, we know that hair is, it shows your position in society. So for her to be shaved bald, she is the lowest of the low.
Yeah, like an untouchable.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not cool.
But her grandma did that to her.
Yeah. And
until she was an adult.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just we cut your hair this one time as a punishment. No, you stayed shaved and bald your entire childhood.
Yeah, and her teens and everything. And you got to remember, this was until she was 17. And this time, I don't think that you waited until you were 17 usually to become an adult. Usually it's younger.
Yeah, I mean, medieval times was literally 12 to 14. Girls were getting married off, which is, again, totally fucked. But that's the way they were doing things back then, because the age expectancy was very, very low.
Yeah.
If you made it till 30, you had a good long life.
Right, but at 17, she meets and falls in love with Pell, But the King's Circle wants her to marry the son of the next town's mayor because, like, economy bullshit. And she is like, no, Grandma, I don't want to do this. Don't make me do it. And this is probably the best kindness that her Grandma Lyndall ever does for her. She just says, hey, keep your oath and I will go to bat for you with the King's Circle.
Yeah, not something she has to do. That is, okay, the impression I get from Grandma here is the same as Butch from Pulp Fiction. All I give a fuck about's the watch.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you keep your oath, you're fine here. I will back you up. I'll protect you. I'll house you. I'll go to bat for you for to the government and let you marry whoever you want to marry because you are doing the right thing. You're keeping your promise of the oath. Don't fuck that up, and I have you.
Well, and I think, she's in the same position as Adie. I think she knows, like, for herself, they have a right to tell me not to use my magic in any way, right? Cool.
Right.
They don't have a right to tell me how to live my life, and they are not going to fucking tell you how to live your life, because if they tell you how to live your life and who you have to marry, they would have to do the same to me, and fuck that.
Yeah, don't let them in enough.
Yeah.
To give them the power to do that. Plus, that makes her a slave to the system.
Right.
And no, I'll be damned if I'm going to live that way, so I'm not going to let you live that way. Her grandma is respected here.
Right.
They're afraid of her. They don't necessarily like her, but they also ask her advice because of all of this.
Right. And they listen to her when she says, my granddaughter ain't doing that shit. Okay. Pell and Adie get married. She gets knocked up. Everything's going great. They're taking a nice walk in the afternoon, by a mill. Everything's great. And then they get attacked.
They didn't just get attacked. They got disappeared by, disappeared. They disappeared from, this was federal agent style. Poof, gone. They will just take you.
Oh, yeah.
This is a windowless van pull up, and then they took them to the mill.
Oh, they're using vans that have windows.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen the videos.
Yeah, me too. Many, many videos. But that's what happened to them. They're just walking, literally doing nothing wrong at all. And they just got scooped up and brought to the mill.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it speaks for itself. We won't go too far into that, but that's what happened to them.
It's fucked. And the people who are doing it are the blood of the fold. They are basically witch hunters or baneling hunters.
Yeah. Very Van Helsing-like dudes, I'm sure.
But they haven't been a fan of Adie, and they've been kind of the ones that were pushing her to get married with the other dude, and they're kind of pissed that she didn't do that.
Yeah, so let's just take her and her new guy and torture him. Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Super.
We're going to separate them and torture the fuck out of them until they rat on each other, because that's, what cops do. Not all cops. There are cops that don't do that. But we've all seen the TV shows.
That's a pretty common police tactic. We'll separate you two. You tell on him. Your buddy already ratted on you, so just tell us and we'll go easy. And they'll say anything.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Nope.
So they poured a liquid down Addie's throat, which burns and prevents her from speaking. And then they take her to the room where Pell is and tell him that they're only hurting him because of Adie. It's all her fucking fault.
Yeah, that if she would just deny it, then they'd be free to go. But of course, she can't talk because they poured the shit down her throat. I can hear the guy in my head saying, fine, you don't want to talk? Don't talk. Drink this.
Yeah, and even if she didn't drink it, they forced it down her throat. But once she's in the room with Pell, and he is being told that she just has to say, no, I didn't say it. I didn't say he was a baneling. He's looking at her, and apparently she can't communicate to him that she never said it.
Yeah, one of the guys is holding her hair or her head so she can't shake her head. She can't nod or shake. She obviously can't speak. She can't scream. There's no voice there, so there's no guttural sounds either.
Which
it's nothing.
Is sad.
Very.
But